So here we are back at it again with another movie review from this summer. And now it is going to be I Know What You Did Last Summer 2025, one of our requels to legacy characters that are returning. Just like how Scream did it, just like how Halloween did it 2018, just like how Star Wars did it, and so many other franchises. We're just coming back to the lure of the originality of the franchises that we've grown to love and adore. And so here is another one. If you are a 90s kid, such as myself, you'll actually are familiar with I Know What You Did Last Summer back in 1997, and I Still Know What You Did Last Summer in 1998. And these movies were actually more forwarded to children at the time because I remember watching the marketing for these movies in commercials during Saturday morning cartoons. And for the movie, like the new one that just was recently released, I wouldn't even know if it would be forwarded to kids because Saturday morning cartoons that I know of, to my knowledge, doesn't exist anymore. So, but yeah, I remember when they would market it in the commercials during Saturday morning cartoons, and I would just think, even me as a kid, thinking, this is a horror movie. This is rated R. What are they doing playing it during Saturday morning cartoons? But if you ask me, I never got to watch any of the movies back in theaters, but the movies were great. I grew up with those movies. I loved those movies. As a matter of fact, a lot of people don't like the second one. For me, I actually like the second one a lot more than I do the first. They're both entertaining. I remember how scared I was watching them. The first one is more scarier. I'll give it that. The first one is much more scarier. I would always be terrified of watching the first movie by myself in the middle of the night. The second one, not so much. It has some horror elements into it, but not as horrific as the first film. But I did the teaser trailer to the second movie, I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, was scary. I remember it would be one of the trailers playing in the VHS of Starship Troopers, and when I saw that teaser trailer, that really got me. I mean, I was like scared. I was like just horrified. And now that I'm more grown up, close to 30 years later, here we are again with a new I Know What You Did Last Summer movie. They did come out with a third one, which is like a direct-to video release. I'll always know what you did last summer. And I'm just like, can you come up with any more titles to this franchise other than saying I Know What You Did Last Summer 2 and 3 and 4? But no, that one was, I didn't even bother to watch. I saw a few glimpses of it here and there, but that one was, oh God, that was awful. I just did not want to see that movie at all. If that movie was playing in theaters and I bought a ticket, that one legitimately I would have walked out of. And I know that they did on Prime Video of, was it Prime Time on Amazon, a TV series that I never even got to watch either, but I heard that it was pretty good. Not that good, but it was good. But I still haven't watched it because I don't have Prime. But yeah. But when it comes to this new movie, I'll have to mention the characters in this are very similar to the four original kids that prevent this, that create this crime during the movie. And at first there were 4 kids, and now we're dealing with 5 kids, and there's a reason for that. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do a miniature review of this, and for the next 5 minutes after, I'm gonna do a spoiler review. So I'm gonna give you guys a heads up. Right now, it's non-spoiler. I'm not gonna spoil anything, but I'm gonna talk about how I felt about the movie. I watched there's 3 movies back to back already that I've already watched this summer, and it really made me upset when I left the theater, which was Megan 2.0, Jurassic World Rebirth, and Superman. Just speaking the names of those titles puts vomit in my mouth, and I dislike it very much. I very, very do. But yeah, those 3. But this time, I walked out of the theater completely satisfied. Surprisingly, right? You would think I would have hated this movie. No. I don't hate it, but I don't think it's the best. When it comes to the other 2 I Know What You Did Last Summer movies, Those two are still high up. This one is below it. When it comes to all three of these, yes, it's at the bottom. It's not as good as those, but it's still good. I really did enjoy it. I was entertained. I was not bored. The fisherman in this, you see a lot more of him than you do in the other two movies. He's much more gory, and he kills in many different ways. He or she, I'm not, it's not a spoiler. It's not that I'm saying that the killer is a he. No, I'm just saying, you would assume it would be a he. But yeah, you have a he and a she, or whoever it is. Just say the killer. The killer has a habit of doing really great, unique killings to the characters that get killed in the movie. Do you care about these characters? Sometimes, in a way, yes, but then there's others that do get killed off who are introduced into the film not even 5 minutes ago, and bam, already dead. I'm just like, how am I supposed to care about this individual character or that individual character if you just introduce them and we don't know anything about them? They're just dead. So that's one of the things I didn't like about the movie. But like I said, I didn't hate it. I really didn't hate it. The main characters, though, like I said, it gives you the 90s vibe on how you felt when we watched the first movie with these four kids and getting into this accident where somebody gets killed and just leaving the scene. The first one, the first movie was more horrific. I love the fact of it being horrific. It felt like as if the viewer themselves were going to get in trouble by this accident that had occurred. But in this movie, it did not feel that way. It felt very rushed. It's like, oh, yay, kids having fun. Oh, accident. Oh, let's leave. Bye. Okay. I mean, it didn't feel as horrific as when Jennifer Love Hewitt opens a note and says, I know what you did last summer, and you feel like as if it's referring to you. And I'm just like, oh no, who knows what I did last summer? I don't even know what I did last summer. But in this movie, they just open the note and you're just like, for me, I don't find it that bad. I mean, it's still bad what they did, but it's not as bad as what of, supposedly killing somebody, hitting them on the side of the road, of the highway. So, and dumping them into the ocean. that one felt more horrific. But this one is just like, just a high and by thing. But yeah, the killings are pretty good. I really did like them a lot. This movie was good. I wouldn't mind going and watching it again. The ending, though, like I said, I'm not spoiling anything. The ending, though, is different. Different, something unexpected. It happened. Do I like it? I don't. I don't like it, but I understand it. I understand. And because of that understanding is why I give positives to it. I don't know if that makes any sense. I just understand it enough to where I'm going to go ahead and accept it. Even though I don't like it, but I accept it. I think it's something that's going to grow. Something that's going to grow because this is not a spoiler here either. This is something I didn't know officially, but you just had that feeling something was going to happen. Because the credits roll, but it doesn't fade to black. We're just having the credits rolling during the ocean, while we're with a drone sky flying past the shore, the ocean, and I'm like thinking something's up here, and yeah, it goes to a mid-credit scene. I knew there was gonna be a mid-credit scene. It's not a spoiler. I'm not gonna say what it is until I actually do talk about a spoiler. But yeah, there is a mid-credit scene. So everybody, stay in your seats. It's going to get exciting. When I watched it, it gave the movie more positives for me. But yeah, so that is my review. I don't think that there's anything else that I need to discuss without spoilers of the film. Like I said, I did like it. If anything, when it comes to me rating this movie, I would have to give it a good 6.5. Like I said, not the best, not the worst, but I did leave the movie entertained and satisfied. I loved it a lot. I didn't get scared. There's some jump scenes here and there, but it's not like I'm afraid to come back home alone. The only time that's ever happened was the 2018 Halloween movie. I'm just terrified to come back home because you never know what surprises may lie ahead of you once you come home. And thank goodness that has not happened, and now nor would I ever want that to happen. But yeah. So that's my review. So now we're going to go ahead and talk about the spoiler review. I have a, I hope I'm pointing in the right side here. It's either this side or that side. I have the spoiler sign up, so once I put that up, that's when we're going to go ahead and talk about spoilers here. All right? Let's do this. Y'all have been warned. Now here we go. Now, quite normally, since I've been back for the doing these movie reviews, I made a promise to myself that my videos would be between 5 to 10 minutes. But because of time issues that I have, I don't really have the time to be going out of my way to making a non-spoiler and a spoiler video. So we're just going to go ahead and put it all together here, talk about the, which we already did, talk about the review of the film, and now we're going to talk about spoilers. Here we go, everybody. Let's do it. We got the legacy characters come back, which you don't really have many, you know, because pretty much everybody got killed in the first 2 movies. The only ones that you have left are, of course, Jennifer Love Hewitt and Freddie Prinze Jr. They're the only ones who come back because there's nobody else left, because they said that they're going to exclude I Still Know What You Did Last Summer and just talk about just only the first film. And when it came to watching this movie, I did not think that, I didn't think that I Still Know What You Did Last Summer was excluded out of the equation, because they had thrown some references in it in regards to that film, which, of course, Ray and Julie, Freddie Prinze Jr. and Jennifer Love Hewitt got married, but are now divorced. So they didn't get their happy ending. I wasn't really happy about that. I love the fact that they were both the love interests, but something happens in this movie, which I'll get to in a minute, that completely divides these 2 characters completely. They don't really get too many scenes in this. You do get to see them for a good amount of time. Their story is somewhat connected to this new movie. So here we go. We're going to reveal the killer. Here it comes. Spoiler warning. Here we go. It's this girl called Stevie. And I'm thinking to myself when I saw this, I'm like, it's the part of the movie that I don't like when they do it in Scream. In Scream, you get the fun of Ghostface, and then when the reveal is revealed, I think to myself, okay, well, I guess that's it, Ghostface. We're not going to see no more Ghostface fun. And here, I was having so much fun with the fisherman, the slicker guy, or they call him the fisherman. I love seeing the fisherman. The look is a little bit off. I don't like the look. I never did like the look. It's never really captured. Otherwise they would have used that imagery in like Scary Movie, but yet they used Ghostface instead. The killer is a character named Stevie, and she's someone who is the 5th individual in this group of kids, of this group of friends, and she was excluded out of the group. She got herself separated due to a lot of stuff, so that she got herself involved in a lot of bad stuff. And now that she's reunited with them, that's when the incident occurs, and she's like, I just got myself back, planting my roots, getting myself back on track here, and now this is happening, and it's going to ruin my life all over again. No, thank you. So she becomes the killer and starts killing off all these people. When you get some introductions to some of these individual characters that do get killed off, at first you're like thinking, that's the killer, that's the killer. No, that's the killer. No, that, you know what? Never mind, that's the killer. Like, and then they get killed like 3 minutes later, and you're like, okay, I guess I wasn't the killer there. But in fact, it was this other one. And I'm like thinking to myself too, because it also played in the trailer saying that someone in this group has a secret that they're not telling us. And I'm like thinking, okay, so it is somebody in the group. It can't be Ben Willis, Ben Willis from the last 2 movies. He was playing it off like a Michael Myers sort of version. I'm thinking it can't be him because he's just way too old, and the way the fisherman is moving in this, it doesn't seem like it could be him. We're not going down the supernatural route where he gets killed but yet still keeps coming back alive. Because if you were to look at the ending of the second film, I did question myself as, okay, so we're going into this, and yet both of our legacy characters are still alive when they were supposedly killed off at the end of the second movie. We just had to accept the fact that the ending of that second film was just another dream sequence, like in the shower scene in the first movie of the ending. It was just another dream sequence. These 2 are still alive, but they did get married, but they're divorced, they're separated from each other. And you would think that the movie would be over once when, Ray has a gun, he jumps onto the boat, saves the day, killing the killer. shooting the killer off into the ocean. I think that'd be it. But in fact, there's more. This is something I don't like in the Scream movies, because they always do this when they do the reveal. I would like it, besides Scream 3, have it just one killer, just one. But it's like as if they can't make this possible unless if there's 2 or even 3 killers in the film, which is what they've done. So in fact, yes, there is a second killer in this movie. And it's none other when Jennifer Love Hewitt looks up on Google as to whom the Stevie character has some in relations towards, which is, of course, Ray. Ray's the killer, too. Because I'm like thinking, okay, the reveal of the Stevie character, you see how the horrific elements that they do to kill all the other characters off? I would think to myself, she's too scrawny. I don't see her being so brutal like that. In that way. So it's like, okay, there has to be somebody else involved, and it has to be a male figure who could do such a thing. And who could it be? None other than Ray. A legacy character as the killer. Wow, never seen that before. Like I said, I didn't like it at first, but because of my understandings to the reasonings of that reveal, I've learned to accept it. Not like it, but accept it. But yeah. And then, of course, you get this whole... Not even just a few seconds between Ray and Julie. She comes in to save the day, and yeah, they just kill off Ray, by shooting one of those spear guns into him, and boom, done. The movie's over. It's not over. It's just that I didn't like the ending, which is like 2 friends just cheers, have breakfast after recovery in the hospital, and that's about it. I like it better when there's a horrific element happening, when the fisherman declares that he is not dead, but of course these 2 are officially dead, confirmed. But like I said, there is a mid-credit scene. This is what really got me out of my chair, and I just shouted, yes, I knew it was going to happen. Brandy comes back. I knew it was going to happen. I knew it. Brandy comes back, and she is now married. It's not Mekhi Phifer. He got killed off. He never got his wish of, getting some fun time in the Bahamas. Which, of course, my funniest line in the movie that I liked a lot about of what they brought up was, one of the characters was bringing up saying, why don't we just jump on our boat? The greatest solution is jump on my boat, take off to the Bahamas, and let this all, work itself out, while we're gone. We're safe in the Bahamas. You're chill there. And Ray's just looking at him. He's like, dude, I don't think you should do that. I've been down that road, and trust me, it does not go well. And I was laughing. I was literally laughing because I understood that reference. I honestly did. There's a lot of Easter eggs in this in reference to those other 2 films, and I caught them too. They're great. But that line in particularly, I loved it. But yeah, Brandy comes back, and she's watching the news showing that Ray's the killer, and Ray was on the verge of killing Julie. And she's just shaking her head, and she's like, man, this woman cannot catch a break. Everybody's out to kill her. And who's at the door when the husband goes to bed, spookily, in a spooky way happening? I was expecting Ben Willis's fisherman coming back to come and kill her. But no, it was actually Jennifer Love Hewitt, Julie at the door. And there she is. She's like in a leather jacket and a baseball cap, and she's just showing Brandy that she got another letter, and it says it's not over. So it's like, oh, okay, so there's more to the story. We're gonna get another movie. Hopefully, if this movie succeeds, I want to succeed, I would love to see the sequel to these legacy characters coming back. That would be great. And I don't think there can't be any other legacy characters. That's pretty much it. You got Brandy and Jennifer Love Hewitt, and I can't think of anybody else. Everybody else got killed off. So yeah, but and then I like I said, I enjoyed the movie. It was great. I didn't leave angry. I didn't leave overwhelmed. I didn't leave confused. I didn't leave disappointed. I left very entertained and satisfied. And one thing I want to point out here, when it comes to this movie, I saw that the premiere of this movie everybody coming back. Oh, and by the way, I forgot to bring up Sarah Michelle Gellar. She was at the red carpet premiere. And you think, oh, she's just there because she's married to Freddie Prinze Jr., of course, where they met in the first movie. No. She actually makes a cameo. She's back, but she's not alive. She's like how, what's his name? came in from Jeepers Creepers 2. You know, you got killed in the first film, and now you're coming back as the ghost to warn the new character, hey, you know, you did this and you did that. You know, you got to face your fear and everything like that. I love that. That was great. We needed an intermission. You need an intermission. How do you say intermission to, you know, go to the restroom and all that? Because I almost missed that scene. I had to go to the bathroom. So good thing I caught it in time, because I missed the shocking reveal, but it was still great getting to seeing Sarah Michelle Gellar back. And she hasn't aged a day. I know they did some de-aging on her, but she still looks great. She looks like she hasn't aged a day. I mean, she looks great. I don't think they needed the de-aging on her, but she looks good. But yeah, let me say this real quick before I end this video, is that Jennifer Love Hewitt, you got to understand, she's 46 years old, has 3 kids. I know she doesn't look the way that she did back in the 90s, okay? But she's still remarkably beautiful, okay? You guys got to lay off. You know, I understand that she's gotten thicker and all that, but you can't have the same body that she had when she was 18 years old. You got to get over that. She still looks remarkably gorgeous. I have nothing against that at all whatsoever. I enjoyed her performance. I could tell in the movie that they try to hide, you know, her curves, you know, wearing darker clothes, hiding in the shadows and stuff, or sitting down at a table to hide those curves. I didn't mind the curves. I love the curves. The curves are amazing. I love them. She has a remarkable figure, you know, and I think that she's a great actress. So I think that people just need to lay off, you know, give her a break here, you know. So that's just my feeling towards the whole thing. I went a little longer than I usually do. I think this should have just been a spoiler review. But yeah, that's my take on I Know What You Did Last Summer 2025. Go and check it out. I really do recommend it. Once you do, let me know what you guys think down in the comment section in the bottom. Let's have an awesome time talking about this movie or any movies that you like to talk about in general, because I love to talk about movies, but more importantly, I love to talk about them with you. And don't forget that you can check out some more of my videos on YouTube at Awesome Joe Movie Reviews. So anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video. And as always, stay awesome. Bye, guys.